But the exam date is 20. So in general, so that's it. But if we submit the document means we will release for the exam because it's take maybe 1 or 2 months, or sometimes they will call immediately also. So before uploading the documents, we need to ready for the exam. Okay, now I will tell you. So most probably today we will discuss about the next emissions. On Sunday we will discuss about the rest of the electronic studies, communication data. Because as I already told, computer and communications, we have 3 questions they may ask. At the same time, as of now, we have 30 to 40 questions. And it's a vast, as I said, the computer is a vast area. But the question is only quick question. So that's why instead of going like this in detailed syllabus, I share the question and answers. And some of the problems I worked out. Some theory questions we got that. Some problems also there. For example, how to find the bandwidth of the antenna. So, but all the questions are basic. Even the question is related to the communication, but the basic is physics. So that's why I started more useful. So that's why you can able to understand. Now I start the computer communication questions alone. Rest of the topic, yet I need to check the answers. As I said earlier, I work out the questions. Because all the questions we collected for last 1 year. For example, some months back, I read the question. Sometimes they ask you, we know the transfer of the total losses in the this is the question of copper losses and core losses. Core losses is a fixed losses. Copper losses is a variable losses. So total losses which is equal to copper plus copper losses and core losses, or fixed losses and variable losses. Fixed is linear, variable is pi under 10. So previous I saw the question, instead of the total losses, they mentioned the copper losses like this. So some things in the previous I did understand 6 months before. So the total losses means usually the fixed losses we didn't keep in the mind. So losses means copper losses. So copper losses pair the losses. So I hope some of the one of our below met started question in the group. So 6 months back I say that total losses is the total losses plus square of the losses. But you say I said now I told square plus fixed losses.
Yes, yes,
because the 6 months before I understand like this. So as I told, the number of days is 30 days or 26 days. So per month we have 30 days. Everyone should know. I told that we have one question. In the question, we need to find the capacity of the battery cell, solar cell. So we need to calculate the number of hours. The number of hours is converted to the number of months. So usually what we get in the number of months, the month has 30 days. Everyone knows 20, 30, 31. But those working in the construction, those who are working in the manpower calculations in the construction, we keep in the 26 days. Because why I say that 6 months before, one of our colleagues, they say that number of months 26 days. Immediately they are said that 26 days. Then only we realize that not 26 to 30 days. So by this way, the losses means we keep in the mind copper losses only. So presently, I put the wrong in the previous. So now I'll read the questions again and again, so I will get clarity. So that's why just wait for 2 days, and the maximum Sunday I will start the rest of the course. And in the question bank, we know the power is double means the decibel is 3 dB. Half means minus 3 dB. But in the question paper I prepared and I did a mistake. Both the cut copy. First I prepared for the double. So I copy the same question and paste in the next line, but I forget to delete the double into half. The answer is the question starts 3 dB, the next we have minus 3 dB. But I did a mistake because not the double is the half. So these are some mistakes I did in the question during the preparations. But as in your end, so by mistake you got the answer double means minus 3 dB by mistake. So I need to carefully read all the questions. So it takes a couple of days. So then I will start it. So we are not able to say, yes, even though it's a silly mistake, but it's affect our career. Suppose we need to get exactly 52 marks to get the license. So unfortunately, if you get a 48 minutes, we did one wrong answer. If you get the right answer, one answer, we'll get the license. So that's why I need to go through all my PowerPoints and question paper, especially question paper, because even though we discussed in the classroom PowerPoint, in the exam, before the exam, everyone numbers you go to the PowerPoint. Just you go to the question papers only. So that's why I keep in constant on the question paper to eradicate the mistakes. Yes. The size. Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir. So in the group, I shared the general topic questions. So nowadays, they may ask these questions also. That is, you need to calculate the interest rate like this. So general
Yes,
question.
sir. Now you start the class, sir?
Yes. I will start the classes.
Now.
So before start the classes, just I share some information.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Because now I joined.
Okay.
Yes.
So in the group, I shared the two questions. Question answer A6 belongs to computer and communication related questions, and 7 is a general topic. So from these two documents, we may have 3 to 4 questions. And all the questions are repeated and frequently asked the questions. So kindly, first you go to these questions of DC fundamental, AC fundamental, electronics. I suggested first you prefer these two documents, because within the 60 questions, we may have a 3 to 4 questions. And or we need to buy that only. And second, you go to the PMP questions, because in the PMP topic, we have here 5 questions. So later I said that question bank also is consists of approximately 50 questions. So from 50 questions, we may have here 5 questions. So at least 3 questions, definitely they will ask the 3 questions from this question. So put together, we have 100 questions, and there are high chances for 6 to 8 questions. So that means approximately 40 to 50% what we need. So that's why you concentrate on these areas. So today we discuss about the AC machines. So alternators, synchronous motor, and induction motors. First we start with the alternator. So alternator, which is used to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. That electrical energy in the form of AC supply, alternate quantity. So as per Faraday's law, we need two physical things, magnetic field and conductor. That is field winding and armature winding. Field winding, which is used to produce the magnetic field. Conductor, which is used to collect the electricity. Either depends upon our requirement, either magnetic field or armature is need to rotate. Depends on our requirement. And here the alternator is classified based on the rotors. So before going to that, whether I want to see a screen?
Yes, sir, we can see a screen here.
So here, like this, for understanding. So we have an alternator. Okay, this is a general conceptions. In the conceptions, we need field winding, that is this one, which is used to give magnetic field. Sorry. This field winding. So this is armature, sorry, stator winding, but as per Faraday's law, we call it armature winding. So from our college life always, so we think that armature winding means it is rotating. Because first we discussed the DC motors. In the third semester, we discussed the DC motors. In the DC motors, what we studied, armature winding is rotating. So always we keep in the mind like this, it's not like. So armature winding to collect the electricity, field winding which is used to produce the magnetic field. So it's the alternator, the conductor, that is armature winding which is to collect the magnetic field, the electricity, and in this alternator, see here. So here we have a terminal box. So in the terminal box, we are collecting the electricity. So here the armature winding we call as a stator winding, and the field winding we call as a rotor winding. Stator, armature winding we call as stator, field winding is also rotor. which means that here the field winding is rotating. But in the DC motor, field winding is stationary, armature is rotating. Okay. So field winding, here we are giving the DC supply. Why we need a magnetic field? If we give the DC supply, what will happen? It produces the magnetic field, but the magnetic field with respect to the time does not change. It's a constant one. For the same winding in the transformer, instead of DC, we are giving AC. That means that we are giving the AC supply with respect to the time. The magnetic field is a time varying quantity. Okay. So in the alternator, here we get the output. How much voltage you will get? Approximately 33 kV. For understanding, we say 33 kV. Or in our construction, we are getting 440 voltage. In the construction, we are using 250 kVA DC. At the maximum, we are using 250 kVA DC. And that is an exciter. In the exciter, we have a battery or that. In the battery, we are using 48 volt. So see the rating here 48, here 440. So 48 is the smallest number, 440 is the highest value. So if we actually the alternator which is used to generate 11 kV. And the type of alternators we need only 240 voltage DC supply. 240 at the maximum 400 voltage, less than 400 voltage, simply. So compare, one hand we have a 400 voltage DC, in the other hand we have a 33 kV AC. So which power supply we need to make more insulations. Here we have a 400 DC voltage, here 33 kV AC voltage. So if you have a less voltage mix, we need a less insulations. So if here it is a field winding. So suppose as DC generator, if your armature winding is rotating, if it is suppose it is a AC means here 400 voltage, here 33 kV. So if the 33 kV winding is rotating and we need to maintain that much insulations.